No, what a long night for me here, being part of and doing my Who Done It Twitter game on Twitter at 2018 Who Done It and at Who Done It K. Those are the two accounts dealing with the game, and I do love being part of it. But today was a long evening, or tonight was a long evening with the game because circumstances in the beginning, and then things got rolling from there. Just finished up doing a little team meeting with some of the players that I work with there about things with the next case. Sorry about that. Just replying to somebody. Anyways, let's talk about this event. It was interesting, especially with the end of the match with Brock Lesnar coming out there. I had a, you want to talk about doing something creative, something weird, something that at first people may be like, "Why is this happening?" or "That's stupid," or stuff like that. But if you think about it, be creative. Would be interesting. Sorry about that. Excuse me. Would be different. Would be fun, at least to me. Brock Lesnar comes out there surprised, right? I mean, he's Universal Champion for as long as he was, and it was like pulling teeth to get him to come to shows. Or they only scheduled him a certain amount of shows because he didn't want to be there all the time, which is fine. That's his personality. That's his business. I'm not going to tell Brock Lesnar what to do and what not to do. Okay. Not only will he not listen to me, but he's not going to give a what about my opinion, which is fine. Again, his personality. I respect that. I really do. I'm just different. I'm on the other spectrum of things. I'm thinking, but you have Brock Lesnar come out there, destroy Strowman and Reigns, both with the F5. Then you have Baron Corbin's candy ass coming out there, though I like him. I know I just said candy ass, but I do like Baron Corbin. I was just doing that for the goof. And he gives the briefcase to Brock. Braun gave it to Corbin. Corbin's the acting general manager of Monday Night Raw. Kurt Angle's on vacation, on sabbatical. And Baron Corbin just literally just gives it to Brock Lesnar. And Brock's like, okay, whatever. And obviously he's not going to carry it around. So he's just going to, because Baron comes out, let's say he comes out with a referee, with his briefcase, literally hands it to Brock or uses himself. Let's just say it's Brock. That's what Brock is, and he's not going to carry that crap around, let alone for 2 minutes, let alone for 24 hours. You have them down right now. Heels, that's how heels do if they're going to cash in. That's why I said you should have had Kevin Owens be Mr. Money in the Bank. But what do I know, right? What does Steve know? I mean, I can get some things right sometimes. I'm smarter than I look, right? Or don't answer that. But anyways, Brock Lesnar cashing in, becoming the new Universal Champion. I know people will be pissed if that did happen. Don't worry, it didn't. Okay, if you're just catching it now or didn't see the pay-per-view, don't worry, it didn't happen. But I'm just saying how that would have been creative. It would have been something at first, some of the WWE Universe would be like, that's stupid, what's going on? WTF? All the other acronyms and slangs the kids use today to describe their displeasure in that happening. But for those thinking more in depth, would be like, oh, that actually was creative. That was cool. That was interesting, at least. And that doesn't automatically mean if Brock then did win the championship in that fashion, as I explained it in my fantasy booking, I guess, aftermath fantasy booking of that segment or of that moment. It might only be for a 24-hour thing, or even for a couple of weeks heading into Super Showdown. Think about that. Unscheduled, unannounced, unknown, to us at least. WWE wouldn't know what the heck they're doing. But I know to us, that Brock Lesnar is going to be at that show, going to defend his championship in a triple threat match with Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns, where probably Roman wins it back, but still. And even if that does happen, even if Roman Reigns did just simply win it back in a triple threat match at Super Showdown, this moment at Hell in a Cell would not only get people talking, but only not be creative and inventive, to me at least. Maybe to you it would just be stupid and dumb, and why would you do that? But to me, I thought it would have been creative if that happened. Again, in my scenario, Brock Lesnar does what he did. Came down, kicked down the door, came in doing the whole mace thing again. Only this time to Mick Foley. At least Mick Foley didn't take an actual bump, a spear, a Superman punch like I thought in the prediction show. And then you have Baron Corbin walking his candy ass down the ramp with a referee in tow, holding the briefcase. People thinking, oh, Baron's going to cash in. Because I know I heard people thinking that was an idea or a theory, or Baron Corbin actually cashing in his gosh darn self. But no, Baron Corbin's not going to do that. Baron Corbin, who has the briefcase in his hand, literally gives it to Brock Lesnar, who just finished F5ing both Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. So then, gives it to Brock. Brock isn't going to carry that stuff for 2 minutes, let alone 2 months. Hands it to the referee that Baron came to the aisle with. Cash in, announcement made. Ring the bell, ding, ding, ding. Because, hey, Baron, he's making up his own rules. They're not waiting for either of them to get up. Right? And then let's say he just pins Strowman. 1, 2, 3. Successful cash in by the new Mr. Money in the Bank that just came willy-nilly. Then you have a reason for Kurt Angle coming back. Though people are saying he's going to come back as a full-time WWE superstar. Okay, then fine. And also, if you are watching live, thank you. I am actually trying to get the chat up right now. So don't worry, I will answer questions or comments you have. If this thing will work for me, that would be greatly appreciated. I don't want to look like a dum-dum. But anyways, if that theory happened, if that actually was that way. Oh, heel turn wrestling figures. Asking who won, Braun or Roman. I think in the end it was just a no contest draw. I have to check on WWE's website. But from what I'm assuming is a no contest draw, no winner. A reason to continue their storyline, because if they just simply had Roman defeat Braun, some would wonder, how does Braun get another title opportunity? Because I think it's going to be continuing anyways. So how would Braun Strowman get another title opportunity if Reigns just pins him 1, 2, 3 there clean? And you try to have that moment with Mick Foley, just like with The Rock at the Royal Rumble when Roman won that, to try to get fans to cheer for Reigns. That kind of reason why Foley was there, which that's what I thought. But, again, what do I know? Woken Boss Gaming Bra, thank you for stopping by. Hey, what's up? I do actually have the chat here. But anyways, yeah, so if that actually did happen, simply, how would they continue the narrative? How would Braun get another opportunity? He would have a failed cash-in. You would think you'd have to be going to the back of the line. And blah, 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 moving forward there. But they want to continue it. So how do they do it? They have this kind of finish. And even more so, to have that, you have Brock freaking Lesnar, steal from Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar coming out there and destroying them both. Again, I thought it would be more creative and interesting if you had Corbin come out there, briefcase, give it to Brock wins the title. But I can understand the other side of the thinking, the other side of the coin of people saying, well, that would just be stupid. What are you thinking, Steve? Sort of thing. Because then you have Brock, even if he's only champion for a couple of weeks heading into Super Showdown, those individuals, male or female, that would think that way, I thought that idea of mine would be stupid because of that. Like, why would we have Brock winning? But for me, again, I think how you would have had this pay-per-view end, right? And I'm trying, again, my opinion. So I'm staying firm and not mumbling as I sometimes usually do when I don't feel as confident in what I'm saying. For those that have watched for me for years, podcast since 2010. So, in that way, and before I continue, like I said, I'd like to read the comment here. Comments. Woken Boss Gaming Bro saying, what a night, but I did not like that last match. Yeah, I get it, and I understand that completely. One for that does predicting myself, my podcast, and a part of another podcast that I'm part of, Talking WWJ. That's on Spreaker and other apps. Now, for that show, that for predicting is like, oh, great. None of them won, so I don't get it right or wrong. In the end, that should really be meaningless to me, but, I am competitive, so I want to win in anything, even silly stuff like that, but fun stuff. Excuse me. So, let's just go back to the whole entire show and the whole night. Again, I thought the show was pretty good overall. Hits and misses, then with any show, okay. And I think it even over delivered as a pay-per-view that people see it to be. You had Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair traded in the house. I did go into this pay-per-view, as I said in the prediction show, that was my prediction for match of the night, and I think it did deliver to be the match of the night. I was a little bit surprised with the Ronda Rousey Alexa Bliss match actually going even further and longer than I anticipated. Now, I did anticipate it to be a little bit longer than the squash match at SummerSlam, which was understandable. Even me as a big Alexa Bliss fan, a guy that likes blondes, this and that, blah, 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 that's my cup of tea, here in my dating life, I guess, so to speak, what I look for. Though I'm also personality, all the other stuff, blah, 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 but I don't want to go down that road talking about that. We're here to talk about WWE. But I was a little bit surprised that it went even as long as it did, longer than I even anticipated. So, in the end, actually a good showing for Bliss in the way that match and that story was told in that match specifically, her being like cowardly heel that she was. I think she played that part pretty dang well. And Woken Boss Gaming Bro saying Becky winning was the right thing. I think whenever Becky was going to win the title, it was going to be the right thing and best for business, I guess, so to speak. But I still say that it might have been better to wait a little bit longer to Evolution and have that moment even be grander. Because in its own right, that would have been a big stage. That's the first ever women's pay-per-view event. I know the grandest stage of all is WrestleMania, but Becky Lynch fans aren't going to wait that long for her to win the championship. Her second run with the SmackDown Live Women's Championship as the inaugural champion, of course, as all of you know. So if it was going to be happening in Evolution, as I thought it was going to be the case, then if Becky winning it tonight, they have a rematch at the Super Showdown or at Evolution, which I think would make more sense. You have a non-title match at Super Showdown or a title match that ends in a sponsor, tie or whatever at that event, and then have a true rematch at Evolution. Point being is, I think it would have been better to have Becky's moment and win that championship at Evolution than here tonight at Hell in a Cell. And I even say that as one that says, WWE should care about all their pay-per-views, put effort in, all that other stuff that I've been saying for years. And that does show that. So I should take that and be happy with it. And I am. It's just that for me personally, and again, my opinion, my channel, my opinion is it would have been better to me and for me to have Becky Lynch winning the championship at Evolution if she was going to win it at all. But now me thinks and wonders, with Becky Lynch winning it tonight at Hell in a Cell, Charlotte Flair just going to simply get it back at Evolution to, have a, climb even higher there with her championship reigns to get to her father's 16, or at least it's for WWE. WWE thinking of the 16, probably was more than that, but point being, going with 16. As the story's told, so maybe. I mean, Sasha Banks, what is she 3-4-time women's champion, short reigns in all, with that feud with Charlotte Flair and Charlotte getting the title back at actual pay-per-view events. Sasha Banks winning them on Raws. Now I know this is different. This is a different situation. I understand that, but I'm just wondering and thinking that maybe that still is the case of what's going on here. But hey, we'll see. Maybe Becky actually does retain it at the Super Showdown or at Evolution, and I'm wrong. But it just feels like that's the way it's going to me. And it's going to be interesting to me, as anything really is interesting to me, at least until proven otherwise, of how the narrative goes moving forward with Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair in the SmackDown Women's Division for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. And looking back here at the comments, 5-minute promo. Hey, thanks for stopping by, bud. Or for however long you do. Saying sales for Evolution are not projected well. If it wasn't tonight, it should have been should be or should have been Survivor Series, but Becky will probably carry it into WrestleMania. Thank you for the comment. Welcome to leave more if you wish to, or anybody watching live, you want to ask questions, welcome to ask them to me, whether wrestling or otherwise. Though I don't expect that, but hey, you can get to know me too. Right? I don't bite. But anyways, Survivor Series, I don't know if that would have been the best case. Again, my side, I get your side, so I obviously respect opinions. But for me, Survivor Series would have been the choice and place for that, because Survivor Series being team aspect, Raw versus SmackDown Live women's divisions, right? Or even make it a triple threat, have NXT get to be part of the show as well. Sprinkle some NXT in there for good measure, right? That'd be awesome. But either way, SmackDown versus Raw. Now, I know that we do have title matches at Survivor Series, so I'm not saying that that never happens. It does a lot. Maybe even every year. I don't know. But just Survivor Series as it is, I think teams, team this versus team that, blah, blah, blah. So that's why I say Evolution would have been the best place for that. If they weren't going to have it tonight, for Becky fans and supporters and all that other such things, to have her moment at that time. And again, we'll talk about this more on Thursday with my team members, with Clackman and others, maybe even Mr. 5 Minute Promo or others that may be able to join in. Because Clackman's not able to join tonight because he's watching that fully stand-up thing that's on here after the pay-per-view event on the WWE Network. Don't forget, WWE Network, $9.99. You don't already have it. Anyways, yeah, it's just, I would think of it better at Evolution. I get your thinking and, facts that you shared with me there in the comments of Evolution not selling well, but still in the eyes of WWE, it's still a historic night, still a first ever women's pay-per-view event, maybe a many to come, whatever. And for Becky Lynch fans that may have been pissed off, or keyboard typing warriors tonight and moving forward, Becky losing here, big picture, think big picture there. Do I think she's going to hold it all the way to WrestleMania? I don't know. Obviously, none of us know, but in my opinion, I don't think so. I probably think that she probably will drop it at Evolution, almost like a Sasha Banks situation. Only actually gets to be a little bit longer, I think, or close to it, whatever. And then Charlotte win the title back. Difference is, though, Becky actually got to win her championship at a pay-per-view, not at a regular Raw show, quote-unquote. But there we go. And Woken Boss Gaming saying, I think Becky going to keep the title until Fastlane 2019, then lose it to Asuka. Well, dang. Hey, it's not a bad idea. It's not terrible. And Asuka actually being in the mix might surprise some people. Some people forget Asuka's even still on the roster. That's what people think she's buried currently. So again, I advise those that said that that's not good. That's not the case. The same thing with Bobby Roode. He's going to be turning heel at some point. And those that said he's buried will be back on that bandwagon as a fan of his, or at least following him in a sense. So there we go with that specifically. But overall, like I said, the show was pretty dang good. I enjoyed it. If I did give it a grade A to F, I probably would give it a B-. Like I said, ins and outs, ebbs and flows at any pay-per-view, roller coaster of good, bad, and ugly moments. And again, we'll go more into specifics with Clackman and other of my team members if they are able to join. And maybe some great, some guests as well would be awesome. But either way, we'll talk about that on Thursday night with the official review show, Steve's Wrestling Ramble style. Here is usually just a quick one, though it seems like it's going longer because, hey, I have some great people here in the comments section, some great people watching live. So if you are watching live, or if you out there, you are watching archives, you're welcome to like the video, smash the like button. Three things to do that takes 3 seconds to do. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and ring the bell. You don't have to, but I might as well say it, right? But let's get back to the comments here. Okay, yeah, another one from Woken Boss Gaming. As I have to, read. Hell in the Cell pay-per-view was good, 8.8 out of 10, but the ending, 3 out of 10. All right, if I had to give the ending its own score, I actually would say that the ending would be a 5 to 6 out of 10, maybe 5.64, right? Just like my GPA was 3.54 in high school when I graduated. But anyways, but I would give it a 5.64, something like that, 5.34 there for the ending, because I think my idea, Baron Corbin coming out with the referee, Brock Lesnar destroying them, and Brock Lesnar becoming the Universal Champion would have been more interesting, entertaining, kind of awesome, wow, what the heck's going on moment. And that gives a reason for them, if they did want to plan to do that, that maybe this is why it's not happened or didn't happen. Kurt Angle coming back, but this time coming back as a wrestler and wants to get Corbin ass, sort of thing. So I just thought it would be, but more of a creative idea, to have to end the show. But all in all, like I said, overall, the show was good. You had Ziggler and McIntyre retain their titles. You had the New Day retain theirs. I really was hoping Rusev Day was going to win, even especially more so because it was on the pre-show. Thought, okay, maybe they'll give their shine and give them the championships for whatever amount of time they're going to, whatever that was going to be, happening on the pre-show. I mean, for Rusev Day fans, that might have kind of sucked that it wasn't on the main card in their moment there. But hey, we've had title changes on pre-shows before, right? I'm sure if you're watching live, you put in the comments, when tag team titles were dropped on pre-show. So I think that would have been awesome if that was the case with Rusev Day and Rusev Day winning SmackDown tag team titles. I'm kind of over the New Day. I respect them, and I respect their longevity of their characters and group and blah blah blah. But they are getting to me. I do sometimes refer to them as the old day, not because of their ages, but because of how long we've had the New Day. But doesn't mean I don't respect them. It's just, as a fan, I'm kind of over them and time to move on, at least for me. And I do see some are leaving, so it's time to move on for them. But for those that are staying with me, the last thing I really wanted to say about the pay-per-view event and other aspects of it that I thought were certainly, I don't really talk about now. And again, we'll go over every single match and the whole entire show with people beyond just me flapping my gums and rambling. But on Steve's Wrestling Ramble on Thursday, we'll have some team members and maybe even some guests. But the last thing here in this quick review that I really did want to talk about, or match I want to talk about, was AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe and that finish. Puzzling to me a little bit, as I paused there, because I really was puzzled on the way that match finished and why they had that finish that way. Though in the backstage segment with Paige and Samoa Joe and the referee for a couple of seconds, though he didn't say anything, just stood there and then left when Paige asked him to leave. But beyond that, so there's going to be an ODQ match at the Super Show in Melbourne, Australia. Now, this Super Show card is looking pretty good. I probably will predict that. I'm probably doing predictions for Evolution as well. Quick reviews, regular reviews, blah, 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 as I usually do. But, okay. Then from there, which, again, we're just having these matches for the special show for the people in that area, overseas. So, all right. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting with that finish. I mean, maybe I'm not explaining it correctly because I'm just talking in circles, but I just wanted to share my thoughts on that. But I guess I'll leave you all now before I lose myself in watching the Sunday Night Football game and other things. But I think all that were here in the live chat, Woken Boss Gaming Bra, 5-minute promo, and heel turn wrestling figures, and others that were here watching me live. If you didn't want to be in the chat, then that's understandable. I myself, in actuality, I'm an introvert, so I probably would have just watched to watch and liked the video and moved on. But either way, hope you all enjoyed this quick review that went a little bit longer. Hope you all have a great rest of your evening. I'll be back tomorrow with the Monday Night Raw review. That certainly will be fun. And we'll go on from there. So enjoy your evening. Enjoy the weather in your area. And above all else, as always, take care.